Alrighty. Let's see. Let's give you guys some time to get on here, since this is our first try as a youth group, and whoever else is bored enough to jump on here. Let's see. I'm missing. Oh, there it is. I'm missing this. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find. Ooh. Our internet at church is so slow, so I'm hoping that this even works because it's painfully slow. So let's turn this down so that I'm not hearing myself. That would drive me nuts. So let's see. Let me text some of you guys up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start the rule of whoever is the first 5 students to comment. You get something from the Snack Shack. If we, again, can never get out of our houses because of coronavirus. Lance Moore, well done, sir. Good job. Look how fancy this is, guys. I can show Lance's comment look, Lance said hi. That's great. I'm so proud of him. Good job, Lance. So Lance, you get something free. Okay. Let's see. I think Emery's about to jump on. Maybe. We'll see here. And she does. Lance, are you doing anything fun lately? Or just kicking it at home? Jason Harjo, welcome, sir. Congratulations. You're number 2. You can get something free from the Snack Shack if we ever come out of it. No, I don't think it's your Wi-Fi. I think it's ours. I think it's how slow ours is. So maybe I'll have to do these from home after this first one. We'll see. We'll see how long. A couple other people ask me how to get on. Let me tell them how to. It's bad whenever the old man's trying to explain how to get on. Let's see, where they go. There you go. Ooh, I found my tennis racket yesterday, Lance, and so I actually thought about that I should go out and play with you guys sometime, or you sometime, because it's been 10 years since I've played, so I'm sure I'm really good, and you could probably kill me and you'd enjoy that. But yeah, I found it in my shed yesterday, so I need to see if it's still not rat chewed up. But yes, we should go play sometime, especially since we have all this time on our hands now and doing nothing else. Okay. All right. Yeah, probably so. Hi, Brandon Harris. I'm glad you're your daughter today. All right, so I'm gonna give people about 2 more minutes. While we do, here's a informational video. Oop, wrong one. Let's see here. Nope. Where's it at? just in case you haven't heard, I do believe that dabbing started by someone sneezing, and then just it took off. Anyways, all right, so we're gonna do this. I have no idea what this is gonna look like. Feel free to comment in the corner below if you have any questions or anything. These are gonna be really short. We're gonna try to do this 2 times a week. This will not be what the Wednesday night services are like. Those will be a little different. So these are going to be short. We're going to be looking at Joshua over the next however many weeks. Well, for sure, next couple of times we meet up on here. And so Joshua, you guys know, was kind of Moses' sidekick for a while there, and he ends up taking over after Moses dies. And we usually think of Joshua, we think of the Battle of Jericho, and we're just like, yay, Jericho. In fact, I think I have sound effects that I should have like queued up for like little like woohoo things there. But anyways, we usually think of Jericho, and we're like, good job, Joshua, way to walk around the wall. And but Joshua's life is really significant in that it has so much to do with how we understand who Christ is and how we understand how we should walk with him. And so I really want to just kind of look at his life over the next couple times that we're on here. These are hopefully going to be like 5 to 8 minutes long. I'm just trying to make sure that we're connecting to God's word and connecting to each other as much as possible. Sometimes there'll be games, so just know that. But today we're going to be in Exodus chapter 17. So if you have your Bibles, go ahead and go there. If not, look at this. This is super fancy. I think I can go like this. Look, now I'm in the corner, and you see my Bible stuff on the screen, which is really nice. So we're going to be in Matthew, Exodus chapter 17, verses 8 through 16 there. And this is a story that some of us know, but we'll read it and then we'll kind of break it down. And this is much more devotional. If you come, hi Tori, if you come on Wednesday nights, you know how I teach. This is not one of those, like, you're not going to be here for the next 45 minutes. I really just want us to see some truth and apply it quickly to our lives. So it says in Exodus chapter 17, while the people of Israel were still at Rephidim, which is a great name, the warriors of Amalek attacked them. Moses commanded Joshua, choose some men to go out and fight the army of Amalek for us. Tomorrow I will stand at the top of the hill, holding the staff of God in my hand. So Joshua did what Moses had commanded and fought the enemy of Amalek. Meanwhile, Moses, Aaron, and Hur, not to be confused with Ben-Hur, different guy, Hur climbed to the top of a nearby hill. As long as Moses held up the staff in his hand, the Israelites had the advantage. But whenever he dropped his hand, the Amalekites, there we go, gained the advantage. Moses' arms soon became so tired he could no longer hold them up. By the way, if you wanted to just try something because you have time right now while you're at home, just go outside. Well, not right now because you get struck by lightning, but go in your room and just see how long you can hold up a thing. I don't care. Find a ruler and just hold it up. Your arm gets tired after a while. But anyways, so his arms get verse 12, Moses' arms soon became so tired he could not hold them up any longer. So Aaron and Hur found a stone for him to sit on. Nice friends. Then they stood on each side of Moses, holding up his hands, so his hands held steady until sunset. As a result, Joshua overwhelmed the army of Amalek in battle. After the victory, the Lord instructed Moses, write this down on a scroll as a permanent reminder and read it out loud to Joshua. I will erase the memory of Amalek from under the heaven. Moses built an altar there and named it Yahweh Nisi, which is the Lord is my banner. And he said, they have raised their fist against the Lord, or the Lord's throne. So now the Lord will be at war with Amalek generation after generation. Content restricted. That's weird. I'll have to figure that out by next Tuesday. Sorry, Natalie. Just watch over your brother's shoulder. Yeah, that's weird. I'm not sure why it's doing that. But anyways, so here's some quick things about this story. Usually when you read this narrative, which narratives just means story, but this is a historical narrative because it actually happened. So it's a story from history. Here, usually when you read it, you hear or hear it preached on our time. You always hear we should have good friends who hold us up and help us to do what God's called us to do. Great devotionalizing of it. That's fine. But we're here to look at Joshua. And so some quick things about Joshua here. As far as Joshua is not very old in this story. We don't really know exactly how old he is, but we know that later on, I think it's in like Numbers 11, it says that Joshua was Moses' apprentice from a young age. And so this is kind of the first time we see Joshua coming on the scene. And so I don't think Joshua would have been very old. Moses tells Joshua to go do something, and he obeys it, which is significant because obedience is only done when someone is above you, right? Like if like Timothy came and told me to do something, like I want to be obeying him. If I did what he told me to do, I'd be listening to him. Like it's a different thing. Like obedience always has to do with authority. And so just the story of it's really simple. Like Moses tells Joshua, go fight. I'm gonna go stand on the hill, hold up a stick. And Joshua is obedient. He goes and does it. God shows up. He defeats the Amaleks, his army, and we see this victory that Joshua had because of what God had done. And so here's some kind of quick thoughts for you about it. As first is we see in Joshua that his obedience was because he understood authority, because Moses had shown authority also. Obedience is always tied to authority. Here we see Moses holding up the rod. Remember that rod represented God's authority over, and so he's holding it up. It's like intercessory prayer. It's us recognizing that we're under God, so that whenever he says that God is my banner, the Yahweh Nisi, he's saying God's above us. So we're gonna live and function and battle underneath or for or in the purposes of God. And so it's important that we get that this is where Joshua's coming from, is that he's coming from a place where he understands correct authority. And whenever the correct authority is understood, for you as students or for me, we always have authority. Most of all, first and most importantly, Christ. But then we always have authority over us. And we need to understand that when we respect and honor authority, it allows for obedience. And we see here in this story that obedience always leads to blessing and victory. And I know that we talk about that a lot. You hear that from me a lot. You heard it from me last Sunday. But we see in this passage where just imagine if Moses had been like, God, I just don't want to hold up the stick. Or if Joshua would have been like, here, let's switch roles. Like you go down and fight and I'll go stand up on the mountainside. Like obedience is always tied to victory. But obedience can only happen when we understand that God is above us, that God isn't our, home dog that we just hang out with, but that God is positionally always above us. And so whenever I was thinking about this passage and trying to decide kind of how to look at Joshua's life from it, Joshua is going to be the obedient person inside the Old Testament. There's a couple of other, like Enoch and some other people that are mentioned, but I think Joshua is the largest character that we never see an act of disobedience on his part. And that's significant. And so as we look at his life over these next couple weeks, be thinking that his obedience is always tied to the victories that he has. In fact, God makes sure that Joshua knows that it was actually God who did the fighting for him. And so here's my devotional for you today. I don't know what you're going through, besides like crazy weather and coronavirus. You could be going through other things. But if we're going to fight in ways that would honor Christ, if we're going to go through those things in a way that would honor Christ, it has to start with obedience in our life. We have to understand that God is above us and that we're living to his glory and to his will. And so whatever you're going through today, whatever I'm going through today, let us say that God's our banner, that he's above us, and so that we're just walking in obedience into the victories that he already has for us. All right. We'll see you guys later. Some of you guys missed this awesome video, so I'll show it to you again because I think it's hilarious. Lance, let me know when you want to play tennis, and we'll try to see if we can come out of coronavirus quarantine for an hour to go play sometime. But here's the awesome video for those who missed it at the beginning. Wednesday or next Tuesday, we'll be doing this again. So if you want to jump ahead, read number 17. Not number 17. Yeah, number 17. No, not number. Where is that? Hold on, let me find this. Here, watch the video real quick while I'm finding this. Okay. So I love the part about staring at them awkwardly until they go away if they sneeze. By the way, I've had allergies for like 6 weeks now, and it is super awkward because I'm sitting there in like anywhere I'm at now, and I'm like, and everyone is just disperses. And you get these weird looks. You get awful. I was at the dentist, and I went like, and like 7 people just like almost died right there. It was like the plague had come out, and I was like, no, I promise it's just allergies. I guess I don't really know. And so, anyways, to get ready for next week, read Numbers chapter 13, where the spies are sent out, and that's what we're going to be looking at next week. Is Joshua stepping into that, and so again. Live under Christ today. Live in obedience to Him as He's positionally over us. Thanks, Tori, for the good video. I wish I made that. I didn't, but it's a great informational video. All right, let me know if you guys need anything. Text us if you guys have prayer requests for this week, and check in with other students. Make sure that you guys are staying connected. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.